That's like if you was trying to catch rainwater and you outside and you got a bucket in your hand. The whole time, like, one, you're not going to be able to hold this bucket for a long enough time.
Hey, you ain't never thought about nothing else to create how to catch this water.
You got all these buckets in your house. And your house is your mind. I know I'm getting abstract. But you got all these, you got 10 buckets in your house.
10 buckets in the
crib. But you holding one.
Right.
And it's overflowing. And at some point, you're going to have to drop it because your arms is tired. Right. And you just, oh, that's my only bucket. I got to put it down. It can't get no more water. No, go get them other buckets.
Place them outside.
And put them Jones outside. Keep a watchful eye over them so nobody take your buckets. And if you lose one bucket, hey, you lost one bucket. But you got 5
But you
more.
still got absolute.
What's going on, people? This is Nigel.
This is Brad.
And this is the Uplift Fitness Club podcast. Do you realize this was one of the best podcasts we had recorded,
and they got deleted?
Y'all don't even understand.
We lost it.
The emotional roller coaster I went through when I tried to edit this podcast. I'm telling you, I listened to it when I went home that night. That was when I was painting the weights in the weight room. Yeah. So I went home, I'm painting the weights. Whole time I'm listening to the podcast. I'm like, man, this junk hard.
And you know what was really messed up about that situation, man? We worked hard that day too.
We did work hard that day.
It was a long day.
It was a long day for reasons
I wasn't even,
we ain't on discuss. Right. But it was a long day. It was
a long day, man.
And we had recording.
Right.
We had the promo shoot. Right. We had hella stuff to do that day. Then we came back. It was like, you wanted to go home.
Right.
I was like, bro, I don't know. We gotta record at least one more because it's like, I mean, just like today, like if we get together, we gotta get as many things as we can done.
Gotta get it in.
And then it's like, bro, we put in 40 minutes on the pod, and that joint just
deleted.
It was, man, that's one of the greatest.
And it was the highlight of the day.
It was the highlight.
It was like a flag on the play, right? You didn't have a kick return,
right?
And you didn't Deion Sanders all the way down, and you turn around, you see the flag on the play. I done broke 10 tackles.
And the thing that pained me the most was like, I had low expectations for that podcast.
Right.
And then once we got going, it was just like everything just started flowing. But I'm like, nah, it couldn't have been that good. And I get home and I'm like, man, this joint crazy. This joint crazy. Like the game we've given in this podcast is probably the best one we've done.
Was on it.
So because this episode got deleted, we're gonna hit y'all with the part 2.
Longevity part 2.
Longevity part 2. So basically, we're going to just try to we ain't even going to try to get it just like it was the first time.
Right. Y'all
just going to get it how it is. But we want to set the table for y'all. And a lot of people, especially in 2020, we in a flash-based society, and a lot of people have a short-term approach to life. So we want to demonstrate why it's advantageous to have a long-term approach and kind of flip that mindset of instant gratification and just wanting things in the here and now, and making sure that people understand that, like, if you just have a little bit of restraint, it's multiple benefits, it's dividends that pay off from that. So let's give it to them, man.
Man, longevity. Longevity, right? So
longevity.
It means to be as well and active as you can for as long as you can, right?
Man, run that back. Run that back, man. You got to tell the people again, run that back.
Longevity. To be as well and active as you can for as long as you can.
As well and as active as you can.
For as long as you can.
All right, let's break it down. As well. I remember we talked to Aaron Velke.
Right.
He talked about total wellness. So we got the physical, the mental, financial, and spiritual.
Spiritual, right.
Okay, 4-prong, right? 4 pillars.
Shout out to Aaron Velke.
Shout out. Hey, he put us on to a lot of stuff. So, wellness, boom, we got 4-prong. Physical, mental, spiritual, and financial.
Right.
Or however you interpret wellness. But activity is what you do. So not only do we have the wellness piece, but we have like actually applying the concepts that you understand for as long as you can. That's your stamina. So basically, how long can you do this? How long can you put yourself in position to be successful? Let's get them some examples of people who have been, you know what I'm saying, who have been examples of longevity.
Longevity, man. Let's talk about LeBron James.
LBJ.
From the Cavs.
It's a different time, though. It's a different time. So the last time we touched this, They was in the playoffs. They was probably playing the Blazers or the Rockets or something.
You know what's crazy about LeBron?
What happened?
Right? He just got the chip, right?
Right.
Everybody is making all these excuses to how he got a pass.
Right.
But guess what, right? LeBron, he's been through the pandemic, right?
Yeah. But they're making it like they're making it like the Lakers the only one that benefited.
Man, you would think that the Lakers, they live on Pluto somewhere. They haven't went through nothing else that anybody else has went through.
But they just because it's LeBron.
Because it's LeBron.
So let's talk
they
about
gotta find the excuses.
Longevity. You're gonna have to persevere through something.
Longevity. LeBron has that determination and that ownership.
But not only that, it's like people when they see like you have a long-standing tenure of success,
right?
They're gonna throw rocks at that.
Oh, absolutely.
And not even necessarily throwing rocks, but you're gonna get tested. So like if you have a long-standing relationship, it's gonna be temptation. You know what I'm saying? If you have a position in the company, it's gonna be young people coming up trying to take your spot.
Right.
But you have to prove that you're able and you're willing to do what's necessary in order to propel whatever field that is forward, or propel your own career forward. So LeBron James is the perfect example of longevity because at some point, right, he was faced with some adversity. 2015, LeBron James had back issues. He just came from Miami, went back to Cleveland, and like if you was watching the season, a lot of times he wasn't finishing with dunks. And it's the first time in LeBron's career where it was like, all right, he don't look as explosive as he did.
Right.
And it's like, all right, so he got a back problem. So what did he do? He consult a back specialist. Some people would have been like, oh, you know, I'm past my prime. I'm just gonna tuck it in. I'm gonna hit the finger rolls like Patrick Ewing. I'm gonna tuck it in. But nah, LeBron said there's a problem. It needs to be addressed. So he goes to this back specialist. He starts working on core stability. He starts doing stabilization exercise on both suit balls and medicine balls before games. He's doing core activation. Yeah. It's like we don't know what LeBron doing.
Yeah.
Then he start turning up. He looked like the LeBron from 2011.
And you know what's crazy? I mean, take notes. That can be applied to almost anything in your life, right?
Okay.
That's just like checking your flaws, right?
Okay.
Right, doing the research, hiring a coach, get a teacher.
Yeah.
Right? Evaluate what's going on. Come up with a plan.
That E word just said evaluate.
Right.
Assess. Most people just go through life.
That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Like whatever happens, they're always constantly like a fighter in a sparring session. You just responding to what happens. But if you take a step back to move forward. If you take a step back, hey, check out that's like the third episode of the podcast.
Third episode, yeah.
Second, third episode, you know. But stepping back to move forward is like sometimes you have to take a step back and assess where you are in order to see where you need to go.
Right.
Not necessarily just responding to things as they occur. But like you said, it can be applied to anything. So LeBron see the back specialist, he do his core activation exercises. It probably puts another 10 years on his career.
Come back looking stronger.
When LeBron, I'm telling you, this is when I knew like LeBron is different. No, he always been different.
Right.
But like I'm looking at his season this year.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, he's 35 years old. Okay, it's only a few people that's been doing this till 35. Jordan did it when he was 35. Right. LeBron doing it right now. Kobe kind of like 34, whatever. Mm-hmm. But he had a dunk in the finals. Game 6. I'm talking, it's two dunks I remember. One against the Rockets.
Right.
In the second round, he double clutched it. He went in, he drove in, he got past Russell Westbrook, and then he went up the dunk. Then one of them dudes, I forget his name, he came try to block the shot. He double clutched it. I'm thinking he gonna lay it up.
Nah.
This man dunked it. I said
he's gonna finish the play.
He's doing this in year 17.
That's right.
This is amazing. Then he go to the finals, game 6, end of the season. He get an open lane. He cocked that joint back like it's 2003. I'm like, damn. LeBron, one of the greatest. I ain't never seen. He been doing this for 17 years.
Man, he been doing this since we was kids.
Since I was 8 years old, bro.
I can understand why people hate to see you. Hate to see.
You hate to see.
I
just can't stand it.
I can understand. I kind of had a relationship with Tom, man. Tom Brady when he was on the Patriots, man.
Right.
I hate to see it.
Yeah,
man.
It's just like, you so good. Like let somebody else get it. That's another example though. Tom Brady.
Man.
We ain't gonna talk about Tom.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get on that.
Cause we gonna stick to the people that we like. So we wanna get him. It's so many examples. We're gonna come to the examples later. But let's say this. when your ability declines, your habits carry you the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
So LeBron is a perfect example of that. But
and hold on, that touched on the ownership, right? You see, LeBron recognized that problem with his back.
Okay.
Right? And ownership.
It's not just
a problem.
It's not some external thing.
I got a problem.
It's something I'm not doing.
Right. I got a problem. I got a problem.
Yeah.
Not the team, not the coach.
Right. It's not father
coach.
time because I'm only 31, 32 years old.
Right.
It shouldn't be shutting
That's
me down
ownership.
for life. So yeah, taking ownership of the situation. But when your ability declines, your habits carry you through the rest of the way. So
Absolutely.
if you think about, we're gonna stay in athletics, right? But it can be applied other places. Let's just think about Kobe. I remember before Kobe had his number changed, we talking about the Afro Kobe, 2005, dropping 35 points a game.
Right.
Kobe said in the off season, somewhere in the mid 2000s, he lost some of his explosiveness, and he consulted with a few people. He was just like, "Yeah, I don't have the same bounce. I can't do the same dunks. Like, I gotta change my game." That's when you start seeing Kobe back down off the baseline, like Jordan in the second half of his career.
Right.
It's like you gotta add new habits. You gotta add new facets to your game, so people can't just key in on, oh, he's an athlete, he gonna just take 2 dribbles and dunk from the half.
Take off from the free throw.
Like, nah, that's not what we do now. Now you gotta be ready for the counter. You gotta be ready for the third move in the series, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I have other things that I can do. I could dig deeper in this tool basket than you can.
Right.
So now can you really withstand the crucible I'm about to put you through? Like, you can't withstand that. So your habits carry you the rest of the way. Let's talk about, so we're not just gonna keep it in sports, but you're one of the more successful people that I consult with.
Okay.
What type of habits can one use in their daily life in order to propel them into success and longevity?
Oh man, that's big, man.
That's big, man.
So along with habit stacking, I know habit stacking, you know that.
Oh, you gotta say that.
With
People don't know that word. You gotta enunciate that. What's that?
Habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
Habit stacking, right? Another word, consistency, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you know what it takes. You know what you had to do, right? Your daily activities. I'm sure you've written it down before, or maybe you haven't. Maybe you just thought about it.
You're just doing what you're good at.
Right. You've done the research. You know what you need to do, but the issue is you're not consistent.
Okay.
Right. You're not consistent. You got to wake up, right, day in and day out, and complete the task. A lot of people, they're not checking off the boxes, man.
Right.
They're not checking off the boxes. When
it goes well, they like, oh, I guess I did what I was supposed to do today.
How I took myself to the next level, man, was really checking off the boxes, man. Each day, right, Monday through Friday, I don't care what's going on. I don't care if I got a headache. I don't care if, my day was long at work. Okay. I don't care that traffic was longer than normal. I don't care that, hey, I didn't piss somebody off today because, hey, you reading every day. Yeah. You got to have that vision. You got to stay consistent.
Okay.
Right, so, with that being said, man, hey, habit stacking, right? Monday to Monday. That's why I call it Monday to Monday. You gotta be putting it in.
Okay.
Right? No, none of this. Oh well, Saturday, and I need some time. Do you want it or not?
What are you doing this for?
Who are you
doing this for?
Right. I mean, you gotta have your back. You know what I'm saying? So nobody else is gonna have it.
That commitment.
You gotta have your back.
Man, one of the first videos I watched at ET. He beating on this shit. It's one of them hype videos. I'm walking my dog. I'm like, man, I gotta get back home. He said they don't understand because they don't understand covenant. They don't understand covenant.
Yeah.
Covenant. It's like, honestly, I think being a person of your word, like that's what's lost on a lot of today's generation. Like doing what you say you're gonna do every time. People just like make a commitment and then I can fall back from it. Because I hear a lot of this stuff about self-care. I hear a lot of this about putting yourself first. Yes, that's true.
That's big.
But putting yourself first is not just saying I can go back on my word. It's like putting yourself first is doing exactly what you tell yourself you want and need to do in order to propel yourself forward.
That's big. Because you're gonna have a lot of You're gonna have a lot of noise.
Yeah.
You know, when you see the commercials with the beat headphones,
the new beats,
they trying to block out the noise. I mean, you gotta have that internal, right? Because you can't walk around with headphones.
Yeah.
you gotta have that internal where, you're blocking out that noise. You staying locked in. You staying focused. Mamba mentality, as Kobe said. RP to Kobe. I mean, you gotta stay locked in.
Staying locked in. So
to have that consistency.
Basically, habit stacking is adding. You're already good at something. That's a given. Like, you could wake up, you sleepy, you groggy.
Most of y'all good at just going on Instagram. And
there you go. There you go. But nah, look, we gonna keep it real with y'all. Like, everyone has some type of talent.
Right.
Whether it's the gift of gab, or you could, you know what I'm saying, you good at programming, you're good at graphic design, whatever it is that you're good at. You already have that. So most of y'all, or most people, I'll say, even myself, I've fallen victims to this, but most people just do what they're good at. They don't get uncomfortable. You have to go into uncomfortability in order to grow. Absolutely. So anytime you feel pain, it's just like working out. You're going to adapt. And once you have that new skill, you can add it to your old skills and stack habits on top.
Speaking of working out, hey, you remember, man, when we was working out so much, right? We wasn't even getting that burn anymore. We're like, damn, man, I haven't been sore. Like, what's going on, man? We gotta change up these work.
And we changed it up,
man.
Remember, we was doing the Mike Rashid, the drop sets in the pyramids, and remember we did the 10-pound. We had like 10-pound plates on each side of the barbell, bench pressing. You remember this?
God.
We was doing that. I remember I seen it because this one I discovered.
Hey, that's longevity.
CT Fletcher, right? CT Fletcher. I'm watching his channel. I command you to grow. I'm watching CT. I'm like, man, I gotta change it up.
I remember
that was right about that time.
I remember that.
That was right around that time.
I remember that.
So I go into the gym like, we not feeling the burn like that. We gotta do something different.
Yeah.
That's when we started doing 100 reps of squat with 225. Coach Johnson looking at us like, hey, y'all don't have to do this. I'm like, no, we have to. Then we put the 10 pounds on there, bro. I swear. You was knocking them joints out till probably like the 6th, 7th rep, and the 6th, 7th set, and it's like a struggle, but you was still doing them. Yeah. I get on that joint, bro. I get to like the 4th set. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. At the end of it, I'm moving like 2 inches. Yeah. But we still I've never been to that place. Right. But you have to go there in order to understand that you can go there. You know, most people, they're so scared of tapping into their true potential, because with potential and with execution comes responsibility. Once I see that you can do something, now the level of expectation has increased for you, and you have to perform to that level, or else now we're looking at you sideways.
Because we know you can do it.
Exactly. So now you feel like, oh, I don't even want to go there, because if I show them what I'm really capable of, then there's an expectation on me. People scared of expectations, boy.
Hey, y'all gonna need a water break on that one.
Y'all gonna need a water break? Let's move on. So you gotta, this is your quote.
What's that?
You gotta put the work in now so you can have the time back later.
Yeah. No,
so you can buy your time back later.
Yeah.
That's something that was said in passing in the conversation. I said, bro, you gotta run that back. You gotta run that back. You say you gotta put the work in now so you can buy your time back later. You wanna expound on that for the people?
Man. Put the work in now so you can buy your time back later. Was basically, right? You wanna work hard today, right? You wanna work hard today, take advantage, fearless, accomplish your dreams, accomplish your goals, right?
Right.
So later, you can divide, right? You have time to do things that you would like to do. Pretty much in layman's terms.
You said divide.
You can divide. Now you can bless others. That's what I mean by divide. Now you can you have the capital. You can help out your niece, your nephew, your daughter, your sister, your mama.
I told my cousin yesterday, actually, when I see my peoples. I said, he went to work and somebody had a Blue Lives Matter mask on. So he and it was on September 11th. So he said something to them. I'm not going to say what he said because we got a platform now. Right. We can't say everything. But nonetheless, he said something adverse to Blue Lives Matter, right?
Right.
And then they just made it a policy that nobody can wear political statements on their clothing or their masks.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I quit. He said, oh, so you telling me I should quit? I said, nah. He said, so what should I do? I said, you need to make yourself more valuable so that you don't never have to work for a place that can tell you what to wear.
Right.
So honestly, it's like you put in the work. That just means you have to create tools and skills that are valuable in the marketplace, or that you can sell to someone or present to someone that they see value in. Like most people, they just do what they're told to do.
Yeah.
You can be in any industry and make money. Like if you work at a grocery store, you could be the general manager.
Man, I be telling that to the young ones in my family, man.
Yeah.
Like if you want to paint, man, there's painters out there that's making.
Yeah.
If you want to paint,
not even artistic paint. We talk about painting walls, boy.
Put a splat there, splat there.
Right.
Man, that's 30,000.
30,000. Look, put in that work now, man. You gotta do something that's gonna separate you from the pack. And you don't even have to separate you like you Usain Bolt. Like just be one of the best.
Right.
Be one of the best at what you do in your region.
You
can make some money.
You can be good.
So stop operating with that short-term mindset, man. We gotta play the long game. Man. We gotta be more invested in things that are gonna give us that longevity. Let's give the people a couple more examples, because I want to get in some female examples, man. Remember we had this one female example.
What's that?
Beyonce, man.
Beyonce, oh my God.
Man, Beyonce been doing this for 20 years, man.
What they call her club, like the Beehive?
Beehive, man.
She got long.
You better say it right.
She been in.
They gonna come for you.
Man, she been in the game for a long time.
Look, and she's had, regardless of whether it's just her or it's her team, like her family, her management, whatever it is, like she's had different permutations of herself.
Yeah.
I was listening to
you can touch on the team real quick, because with longevity is definitely relationships in your environment.
That's true.
Right. You want to, you know what I'm saying? Even with, we go back to LeBron, we talk about Beyonce, they gotta have the right pieces around them.
That's true. They don't do it by themselves.
Right. You gotta have the right pieces around them to have that longevity, right? You can't be hanging out with anybody.
That's
you can't
true.
be working with anybody and expect to be around for the next 10, 15, 20 years.
That's true.
In anything that you're doing, So
the team aspect, I don't know Beyonce's team, so I can't speak to it.
Yeah.
But
they doing a hell of a job.
They're doing a hell of a job. Thinking about like her evolution over time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talking about somebody who started off in the group, that was mainstream, and then now she's able to actually like do things for her culture. So not only is it like a team thing, but it's like putting in that work on the front end has put her in a position to where she could make an album about blackness. Like she could do what she wants. She can do whatever she wants to do. Yeah. She could tell them like, pay me in equity. Like don't pay me in no. I don't want no money. Give me a stake of your company to do a concert for y'all. Like she can do whatever she wants to do, and she can put little subliminal messages out there to say that like she rocks for the cause. It's just incredible, like the position she's put herself in, just from constantly putting that work in,
right.
Constantly making sure that she's viable.
Right.
That's the other thing, man. The best ability is availability. So as long as, bro, a lot of times people get opportunities just because they was on time, they was respectful,
right,
and they was able. It's not like you the best. Like LeBron James, he just said the other day when he won the championship, I've never missed a playoff game. That goes over a lot of people's heads.
Right.
People don't pay attention to that. Dwayne Wade set out playoff games when he was with the Heat.
Right.
Like, he's never missed a playoff game. He plays 75, 80 games a season. What's an example of a person who misses a lot of games? Right downstairs, the Clippers, bro.
Yeah.
Paul George, Kawhi Leonard. They wanted to sit out a quarter of the season, and now we see the evidence, the fruits of their labor. Like, that's not going to give you the reps that you need in order to be prepared in the playoffs, to have that buy-in to their teammates, bro. Lou Williams, what's that boy with the locks? Montrezl Harrell, Pat Beverly, all them dogs that was on the team last year that really went through it. They ain't believe in Paul George.
Yeah.
And you don't even believe in yourself because you're hitting the side of the backboard.
Hey, man, it's crazy. I mean, you even talking about belief, that just gives you back to the psyche of what that really does.
Yeah.
We don't believe in you. Now the team is
the team don't believe
it don't even play right.
Coaching staff ain't calling plays
because
for
we
you.
don't believe in you. You imagine they still got the same ability, but we don't believe in you.
They got Kawhi Leonard just won a championship.
Change your whole
Lou
mindset.
Williams, 6th man of the year last year. Montrezl Harrell, 6th man of the year this year. They got all the same pieces. They added Markieff Morris, who's a decent, 3 or 4. They got the same team that just beat Golden State 2 times in the playoffs with a healthy KD.
Yeah.
They can't get past the second round on the Denver Nuggets.
Gotta have the right pieces around you, man.
Talking about what are y'all doing?
Them relationships is messed up over there, man.
Because y'all not willing to put in the work on the front end in order to get that benefit after the fact.
Yeah, put the work in now. Put the work in now.
Diversification. Let's talk about diversification, man. So once you get that entry into a field, once you get a foray into you gotta look, you hit a lick, whatever you did, right? Maybe you got a position. It's like you can't just stay in that position. So we'll go back to LeBron James. Like, what's he doing now with his career? He's taking the money that he's made in the NBA. He's got his sneaker line that's been there the whole time.
Right.
Now he's doing multimedia. So he controls his narrative. That's 1. 2, he has his production company that has a hand in a lot of different films,
a lot of different pots.
TV shows. It's like he took what he got and then made it work for him.
Absolutely.
And I think people stay at that first stage. It's like just taking what you get.
Absolutely. Now, if you're comfortable with just staying in that first stage, by all means, just stay there.
But it's never comfortable, Brad. Unless you're making $300, $400, $500.
I think so, man.
A year.
I think some people out there really don't care, though, man.
But they don't care until they turn 65 and they realize they only got $100,000. And they be like, "Where did all my money go?"
Hey, take me back to 18, 19, 20, 21.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, like you've been putting all this work in, but you didn't take any time to invest. And that's not to say go into the stock market. That's just to say to diversify.
Being resourceful.
Being resourceful.
Yeah, right.
Have your hand in other pots, or make a pot.
Right.
Like make another pot.
Just create something, man.
That's like if you was trying to catch rainwater. And you outside and you got a bucket in your hand. The whole time, like, one, you're not gonna be able to hold this bucket for a long enough time.
Hey, you ain't never thought about nothing else to create how to catch this water.
You got all these buckets in your house. And your house is your mind. I know I'm getting abstract, but you got all these. You got 10 buckets in your house.
10 buckets in
but
the
you
crib.
holding one,
right?
And it's overflowing. And at some point, you're gonna have to drop it because your arms is tired.
Right.
And you just, that's my only bucket. I gotta put it down. It can't get no more water. No, go get them other buckets.
Place them outside.
And put them Jones outside. Keep a watchful eye over them so nobody take your buckets. And if you lose one bucket, hey, you lost one bucket, but you got 5 more.
But you still got, absolutely.
So how can one diversify? We're gonna get, because we about tangible solutions. Real estate. You can invest in the market.
Right.
What else can you do to diversify?
So you said real estate, diversify in the market.
You can invest in yourself.
Right.
Develop a skill.
Take some
invest
classes,
in your
take some courses. Just being resourceful, man. Going on the internet, you can literally Google
anything.
Anything, right? I mean, you might be able to, you know what I'm saying, tell me what, different avenues that we could take to diversify. You know
what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, for real.
I mean, you can, at this day and age right now, you can download an app, right? Go buy a few vehicles, right? And rent them vehicles out.
That's good game. That's a good game. Somebody just told me about that.
Yeah.
You could literally, oh my God, you could make more off of the vehicle that you're renting out than the payment is. Right. So you have an investment in vehicals, and you can get. Get a fleet.
There's so many different things.
There's so many avenues.
You can when you get off work, right? You can start a Twitch channel and play video games and make some. You know what I'm saying? You can do something on the side.
And you can start a podcast. Right. And if you want to learn how to start a podcast, you can call us.
And you know what that is, man? That just gives you, it gives you your power, right? It gives you your cape. Your Superman status, right?
I mean, and then we not only talking about the initial investment, but look, if you follow our How to Save 10K podcast,
right,
you can learn how to save 10K. Take 2K of it and promote whatever business it is you're doing. If it's an online business, run a Facebook ad, and now you got $2,000 of promotion locally and globally, and people gonna buy it. Like it's a lot of stuff you can do.
Man, I feel like, and also when you do that, right? I feel like you really find out a lot about who you are, right? Because now you're getting into things that you really want to do. You're doing that because you want to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like LeBron right now, he's hooping because he wants to hoop.
Right, but he's doing the media because he wants to do.
Because he wants to do, right.
I
mean, he's doing everything that he wants to do now in his life. Like, he don't have to do nothing. He getting a guaranteed check for the rest of his life from Nike. He can blow everything out his bank account right now. And guess what? He gonna get a what? What is it? 20 mil? 30 mil?
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Come on, man. So you just really get that freedom.
The issue is that I think people look at their job as the source when they're really the source. The job is a feeder to whatever your source is. Like, I mean, you can. Oh my God, if you make $70,000 a year, you should be able to live off of 30 or 40, and then the rest of that 30, you need to make that work. And I think the issue is people stop, like you said, at that first step, and they don't think, how can I make this money work for me? And I'm not calling myself an expert because I do not do that. Absolutely. All I'm saying is that there's a better way than just putting your money into a Bank of America account, a Chase account, Wells Fargo, and getting 0.05% interest on it.
Right.
Like, that's not the way. That's 1960 what your grandparents and your great parents did, and there was noble.
And that was cool for the time.
It was noble in their effort to educate you.
Right.
But now let's go to the next level. Like, let's make an 8% return.
That's all it's about, man. It's about having that mindset of thinking about going to the next level.
Going to the next level, boy.
You know.
You gotta take it somewhere because we're supposed to get better.
We have a lot of distractions, and we do have a lot of distractions in our time, right? Because back then, they ain't had, you know what I'm saying, they ain't had Netflix. Yeah. They ain't had Wi-Fi.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't nobody walking in nobody's house talking about what's your Wi-Fi password.
They ain't had the video games.
You know, they ain't had it, right. They ain't had the video games. They ain't had the social media platforms.
But you know what they did have? They had a lot of societal issues.
Right.
You know, I think it just changes. You know,
definitely.
We're inundated with media. They were inundated with racism and
yeah, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on, and you really have to, in this day and age with us right now, you really got to feed your mind with that positivity, with the things that matter. You know what I'm saying? The things that you just said, working on.
Feed your mind. Like, we talking about longevity, to keep it on the topic at hand, you got to be here.
Yeah.
Like, realistic, bro. Somebody just, I ain't going to be too specific, but somebody just ended their life, you know, in a circle of mine. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, mental health is real.
It's for real, man.
Like, if you don't have it, it's a lot of things that can happen. People can, you can feel like you have no control over your mental. Yeah. So we're going to
get into that.
We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that. But longevity, right? Longevity, spiritual, mental,
physical, and financial.
And financial.
That's a big one.
Financial is huge for the longevity, man. So
we running through. We doing a recap.
Yeah, let's run a recap for them.
The recap. All right. So have a long-term approach to life. When your ability declines, your habits carry you the rest of the way. You had a definition for longevity?
Means to be as well and active as you can for as long as you can.
All right, so you got to put that work in now so you can buy your time back. That's a Bradley Lowery quote. Hey, boy, we got to get these quotes. Get these quotes. Stop operating with that short-term mindset. Play the long game.
Right.
It's chess, it's not checkers, baby.
Right. If you want that, got to have that ownership.
Yeah.
Have that determination. Have that consistency. And build those important relationships. Right.
Those habits. Habit stacking. LBJ, they just think LBJ, man, any example that you had, whether it's male or female, Serena. We ain't talking about Serena. One of the greatest of all time.
One of the coldest tennis players that ever played.
Listen, man, she won 27 straight. What's it called, a Grand Slam? Man. I don't know what tennis is called.
All I know is she was in McDonald's when McDonald's was cool to eat.
She was in McDonald's with the beads in her hair.
I'm talking about she had the toy. Then they had the toys, the little Happy Meal.
I think they did, man. Strong.
Cold. I'm talking about this one, McDonald's. I think at this time, McDonald's was considered actually healthy. That's how long she been around.
Supersize.
That's how long. That's how long she been good.
Whoever you pull motivation and inspiration from, just think about like who are not only the people, the examples you pull it from, but who are you doing this for? Right. That's what ET always says. Like, why are you doing? Like, who are you doing this for?
And that's gonna give you that determination.
That's gonna get that stick to itiveness that you need to create that longevity. Right. Pay me in equity. Diversify. Gotta be, once you get it, do something with it. Don't just hold it. We not squirrels no more. Like we about to parlay all of these things that we doing.
Absolutely.
Build those relationships, gain the expertise, and apply it. And please, 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 just get rid of that short-term instant gratification mindset, because it's not gonna serve you. With that said, this is the Uplift Fitness Club podcast, man. That's a good A, man.
That's clean, man. Write it down.
You can't wait your whole life to make a change.
Believe in yourself.
Innovate with integrity and intentionality.